my makeup inventory for you today. I meant to do this in January. Things fell by the wayside, so I didn't end up getting it done, so I had to recount everything because I had a bit of a spending splurge in January, so I had to recount everything. It's a lot of counting. But I want to hold myself accountable for the makeup products in my collection, and as a project planner you kind of do want to see if what you're doing with all these project pans and you know, trying to use your products up, if it's actually working. So yes, I saw the first time I ever saw a makeup inventory was Becky Loves Kanga. I will link her video down below. She's amazing. I love her. She's a marine biologist. She's amazing. And it was her video of her makeup inventory that actually made me think, it was back in June or July time last year in 2017, and it made me sit back and think, I wonder how much makeup I actually have. So I went upstairs into my bedroom and into my makeup vanity, and I started counting everything. And I was so shocked because I've only been wearing makeup on a more regular basis since December 2016. And my numbers back then were already horrendous. And I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? And that was then the catalyst for me starting to project pan, joining the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group, which I will also link down below, and just generally being more aware of what I was buying, what I was using, and basically becoming more accountable for my makeup. So I want to do my numbers for the beginning of the year. As I said, I was supposed to do it in January. We'll skip over that. And we'll do it now. I don't have the products to show you. I know that can be boring for some people, but I am doing a makeup collection video playlist. So I have a whole video about my blushes, a whole video about my bronzers, and more videos are coming on my collection over the next couple of weeks. So I will link my makeup collection playlist down below for you as well. So if you want to see my blushes, you can watch that video. If you want to see my bronzers or my foundations, you can watch those videos. But this is just purely about the numbers. So I did my counting on February the 4th. I'm now aware that we are a little bit later than the 4th, but anyway. For primers, I have 12. 12 primers. Now I am counting samples in this. So if I have a sachet, then that's 1. If I have a big tube, that's 1. So I'm not differentiating between samples and full-size products. I'm counting every single item as 1. So I have 12. My makeup aims for this year, so by the end of 2018, I want to have used up at least 5 primers. I think that's doable because I do have some samples, and some that are almost finished anyway, like an eye primer that I have. So I do want to use up 5 primers by the end of 2018. Foundations, I have 14 foundations. It's phenomenal considering I've only been wearing makeup for a year. So by the end of 2018, I want to use up at least 6 of those. Again, I want to be using up my samples. Most of my makeup use up is going to be from my samples. So yeah, I want to be using up 6 of my 14 foundations this year. For concealers, I have 7, And then I have a colour correcting palette which has a green, a lilac, and then like a setting powder with it. So yeah, 7 concealers. By the end of 2018, I want to have used up at least 2 of those. Probably 3 actually. I might aim for 3 because I'm close to finishing up 2 anyway. So that number will be easily hit in the next, I'd say, month or 2. So I'll up concealers too. I want to use up at least 3 this year. For setting powders, I have 9, and these include not just like singles, but also those that are in face palettes as well. So I have 9 setting powders. These include under eye powders, face powders, all setting powders. And I want to use up at least 2 of those this year. For blushes, I love blush. I do. I'm sorry. I was born in 79, so I'm an 80s, 90s sort of kid. So I remember the big blush. I have 42. 42 blushes in 1 year. I've managed to collect 42 blushes. It's phenomenal. It's stupid. Blusher is hard to use up. I actually managed to use up 1 last year. I used up 1 blush in a year, and I was always using that blush. This year I'm going to push it to 2, and the reason why I'm doing that is because the blush I used up was a 4-gram blush, and I know I have a couple of blushes in my collection that are only like 2.5 grams. So I reckon I can, if I work hard enough, I can get at least 2 of those 2-gram blushes out of my collection, and that will bring it down far quicker than using one of my bigger blushes. So yeah, 42 blushes in my collection in 1 year. It's phenomenal. So I want to use up 2 of those. For bronzers, I have 24. Now, when I look at my bronzer collection, I don't think I've got that many, but I do. They're in palettes. That's where all my bronzers are. That's where most of my blushes are as well. So again, for bronzers, I want to use up 2. I'm almost finished with 1, and again, I have some small like sample. I think I've got a Hoola sample, which is about 2 grams. So I want to use that up as well by the end of the year. So my use up is 2, but I have 24 now. For highlighters, now 2017, I think, was the year of the highlighter. Everybody loves their highlighters in 2017. And I managed to collect a massive whopping 32 highlighters in 1 year. 32 highlighters. It's ridiculous. And a few of them are cream highlighters. I don't use cream. I don't use cream products. Why have I got them? They're from subscription boxes, mainly. But that's still no excuse. So for highlighters, I want to use up 2. I want to use up 2 highlighters. For lipsticks, and I am talking about bullet lipsticks, crayon lipsticks, all lipsticks that are not liquid lipsticks. I have 46. 46 lipsticks. Now I do have my lip service project pan going on, so for lipsticks I am hoping to use up at least 5 lipsticks this year. That is pushing it a bit because lipsticks are notoriously hard to pan, but because of my lip service project pan, I'm hoping to push at least 5 out of my collection by the end of 2018. Lip liners. I love a lip liner. I really do. I absolutely love lip liners. I think lip liners are a love or hate relationship with most people. You either love them and you use them a lot, or you don't like them and you never use them. I have 13, and I'm quite happy with 13 because I have an array of different colours. But I still want to use up at least 2 of those because there are 2 that I'm not not happy to have in my collection, so I want to get them used up for this year. So they'll probably appear in a project pan sometime in the future. For liquid lipsticks, 29. I have 29 liquid lipsticks. Again, I have a couple of liquid lipsticks that are in my lip service project pan, so I'm hoping to get some of those used up. And I want to use up a total of 3. I maybe should swap that over and have 3 lipsticks out of my collection and 5 liquid lipsticks. But, you know, these are my goals, and if I hit them, great, and if I don't hit them, then I'll just have to work harder next year. But yeah, liquid lipsticks, I want to use up at least 3 out of my collection this year. For lip gloss, I have never bought a lip gloss. Never bought a lip gloss because I don't like lip gloss because my hair gets stuck to my lips. I have long hair. In the wind, it gets caught on my lips and it gets sticky and horrible. I don't like lip gloss. I don't really wear lip gloss. And yet I have 17 of them. 17 lip glosses. I mean, how does a girl accumulate 17 when I've never bought one? Again, subscription boxes. They're always throwing them out, or advent calendars, or free gifts with purchase and things like that. That's how I've managed to get 17. I have a couple in my lip service project pan, so I would like to get those 2 out of my collection by the end of the year. If I can get more used up, great. Okay, lip balms. I wasn't going to count lip balms originally, and then I realised actually how many lip balms I do have, and I have 8. 8 lip balms. I mean, anybody else have this problem where you put a lip balm in your handbag and you go out, and when you need it, you use it, and when you come home, you realise that your lips are a bit dry, a bit sore, so you take the lip balm out of your handbag, you use it, and then you put it on the side, not back in your handbag. And then the next time you go out shopping and you realise your lips are a bit dry, a bit sore, you reach into your handbag for your lip balm, and lo and behold, it's not there. It's at home, sat on the side table. So you have to buy another lip balm because nobody likes dry lips or sore, chapped lips. So you buy another lip balm and you stick that in your handbag. And so the circle continues until you have 8 lip balms. So I really want to get at least 2 of those out of my collection this year. They take me quite a while to use up, so I think 2 is a reasonable goal for that. Eyeliners. Eyeliners are notoriously hard for me to pan. I know that Phoebe HB, she's another YouTuber that I watch quite often. She goes through eyeliners so darn quick. I have no idea how she does it. But for me, eyeliners take flipping ages. And I have 21 of them. 21! And most of those are black. How many black eyeliners do we actually need? So eyeliners, I want 2. I put down 2 because it does take me forever to take out eyeliners. And this does include liquid eyeliners as well, which I don't like. I can't use. I'm trying to learn, but you know, anyway. Mascaras. Mascaras, I have 11, and that's not too bad because a few of those, I think at least 4 of them are sample sizes, so they won't last me very long at all, she says. And I generally, as a rule, use 2 at a time. So I will do use one as like my base coat, and then I'll use a second one as a top coat kind of thing. So I'll try and pick one that's like for lengthening and then one that's for volumizing and use them both at the same time. Or I might use one that's non-waterproof and then top it with a waterproof one. So I do generally use them 2 at a time. So I'm not too worried that I have 11, but I would like to get, where is it? At least 3 out of my collection this year, because I know that 3 of them are reaching the sort of 12-month mark that I've had them in my collection, so I do want to get them used up. I'm pretty good with my mascaras. I don't generally tend to open them until I'm ready to use them. So I tend to stick to the same 2 mascaras until they run out, and then I'll open another 2 and then use them until they run out. So I'm generally very good with my mascaras. We don't want to get, like, you know, an infection on our eyes. So for glitters and pigments, these are loose eyeshadows, loose glitters. It's not a category that I was going to do, but I realised I have 5. I have 5 loose glitters or pigments, and I don't generally tend to turn to them very often. Yeah, 5 is not too bad. I got 2 in an advent calendar, and I've got 1 or 2 out of subscription boxes, so I'm not too fussed. And in fact, I think that's actually I'm looking at the NYX glitters, you know, eye glitters. Been looking at them, and some of the MAC pigments as well. The blue brown one looks really nice. I might pick that one up soon. So I don't know, I think my aim, I don't really have an aim for 2018 to get any of them out of my collection particularly. Maybe one I would like to use up for 2018. Cream eyeshadows. Now this includes like creams or liquid eyeshadows. I have like 2 e.l.f. liquid eyeshadows and 7 Maybelline colour tattoos. I love my colour tattoos. I really, really do. I use a couple of them as bases, you know, like an eye base before I actually put on an eyeshadow. So I love them, and I think I will use up at least 2 of my cream eyeshadows this year. But I think when I do, I probably will repurchase the 2 that I think are going to be finished by the end of this year, because they're the ones that I use the most as I say, as cream eye bases. And I love using my cream eye bases. So yeah. So yeah, 9. I have 9 cream eyeshadow bases, and I think I'll use up 2 in 2018. For eyeshadow sticks, these are, I have a couple of like number 7 eyeshadow sticks, and I have a couple of like Miss Beauty eyeshadow sticks, and I have 8. I have 8 eyeshadow sticks, and I would like to use up at least 2 of those in 2018, probably the Miss Beauty ones, because they were cheap and they're easy to pan, I think. Okay, for eyeshadows. Now, I didn't want to count singles, duos, quads, and then palettes, because that can give you a false idea of how many eyeshadows you actually have. I didn't want to make too many categories in my makeup inventory. So what I decided to do was count each individual eyeshadow pan. If it was a single, it was 1. If it was a duo, there was 2. If there was a palette of 16, that's 16 eyeshadows. So that's how I've counted my eyeshadows, and I have 459. 459 eyeshadow pans. That is phenomenal. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Most are Makeup Revolution, to be fair. I think for my aims for 2018, I just want to hit pan on 15, 20 eyeshadow pans, and I'm saying I only want to hit pan. I don't want to use them up completely, and I say that because I know how long it takes to use up an eyeshadow. In 2017, I counted up, I'd hit pan on 10 eyeshadows, and that was only me project panning since June, July time. So I figure I can double that for 2018, and I'm aiming to hit pan on at least 15 to 20 eyeshadows. You know what, let's go for it. Let's aim for 20 eyeshadow pans to have hit pan on at the end of 2018. Oh, that's going to be phenomenal. So yes, I just want to hit pan on them. I know I'm not going to use up anything. If I do, bonus. But if I don't, then, you know. So yeah, 459 eyeshadows. And I want to hit pan on 20. For brow products, I have 15 brow products. I come from a generation where you were lucky if we gave them a brush. We tweezed the hell out of them, but we never put product on them. Yeah, 15 brow products. I think for my brows, I want to get through at least 2 of those. I've got a couple of like small brow pencils that I got in subscription boxes. I think I can easily use them up. So 2, maybe 3 brow products for my makeup use up in 2018. For setting sprays, this is not a big category for me. I have 2. That's it. 2. And one of them I don't really use it as a setting spray. It's more like a refreshing spray because it's the Sport Effects Mist and Spray one, which is quite menthol in its smell, in its aroma. So I use that more like a refreshing kind of spray when I'm feeling a little bit under the weather or something. So I only really have the e.l.f. setting spray. Man, that thing can drench you. So I'm actually looking for another setting spray. If anybody's got any suggestions of a good setting spray, let me know. I'm thinking about treating myself to the Fix Plus by MAC, or I'm thinking I might go for the Dewy Finish by NYX. Those are 2 that I'm kind of thinking of. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on those 2 products if you've got an opinion on them. So I don't really have a makeup user for my setting sprays because I only have 2. So, okay, final products. Nail polishes. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a fiend for nail polishes. I do love my nail polishes. And let's put this into perspective. Back in December 2016, I asked my husband to buy me some nail polishes for Christmas because I only had 6 colours in my collection. 6, maybe 8? I think it was 8. No, it was 7, sorry. I had 5 B&M ones, a Miss Sporty one and a Miss Beauty one, I think. So I had 7 nail polishes in December 2016. I now have, since February the 4th, 166 nail polishes. That is 159 polishes I've bought in 1 year. That is at least 1 every other day. Oh my God. And I know I've bought more since I did this inventory the other day. I like my nail polishes. I love nail polishes and I like having different colours. So nail polishes, I'm not doing a project polish as such this year, but I have picked out some colours that I am going to aim to work on throughout the year and try and get them moved up and out of my collection. I think I want to reduce that number by 10 or use up at least 10. I know it won't reduce. I'm always buying new ones. So chances are that number's only going to grow by the end of 2018. but I do want to use up at least 10 this year just to kind of keep it balanced. But yeah, 166 nail polishes. It's phenomenal. So anyway, that is my makeup inventory for February 2018. That is 1 year's worth of makeup I've bought. All of that. I will do my makeup story one day and I'll show you the makeup bag that I used to keep my makeup collection in before I got into makeup properly. I only ever used to wear it for birthdays or Christmas or nights out, which were very rare. My makeup would go off before I would use it all up before, and I only really had one of everything before. That's how little I used to wear makeup. So the numbers I have now is just phenomenal, and it's why I project pan now. So yeah, if you like this video, why don't you go upstairs or wherever you keep your makeup and go give yourself a little bit of a count and just see how much you own, and bring it into perspective how much makeup you have. It is phenomenal how much you can accumulate so quickly, especially when you do subscribe to beauty boxes, especially when you do box swaps with friends and things like that. I love doing box swaps and I love getting subscription boxes. And I love going on a bit of a shopping spree every now and again. That's not gonna stop. But I do want to make myself much more accountable for the makeup I own and try using up some of it as well. So I will continue with the project pans as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.